What is up, guys? Welcome to Diggity, a video game podcast, episode number 264, I believe. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, wow, correct. Right. This is great. This is fantastic. I'm Jeff James.
Never mind, it's the Zencaster title, but it's fine.
Oh,
no,
shit.
It's cool.
See, I'm looking at like the thumbnail tag in Canva or whatever instead.
Right.
I'm like, maybe I'll
There's
go
so
with
much
that.
going on.
Yeah. I'm Jeff James. With me, as always, the incredible, unobtainable, luscious Brody Faults, bringing you the greatest of video game news from across the interwebs each and every single week. In fact, on Thursday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, Brody and myself go live on Twitch and YouTube at 9 p.m. Eastern, might I add again, to the great masses around the world and bring you great, wonderful content, as they would call it. And then Friday mornings, if you can't catch the live version of the video or you don't want to go back and watch it on YouTube, we get it, you don't want to see our ugly faces, you can listen to the audio version of the podcast every Friday morning. It goes live at around 5:30 in the morning Eastern time, so you can totally hit it up for your commute. You can totally be able to listen to that on your Friday, or your Friday, as we like to call it here at Diggity, and get on with your day, my dudes and dudettes. With that, you can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at Diggity Podcast. And while you're at it, why not take a look at Spawn Camp, which is our network over at youtube.com/SpawnCampCo. You can find things like Diggity, a video game podcast. You can find WASD and Beyond boys over there, which is like a PC and pop culture podcast. And you can also find the Build Bros, which is all Gunpla stuff. And then we've also got great little playthroughs of different games, everyone getting together, different Spawn Camp personalities all getting together and shooting the shit, having a good time, getting into some crazy shit, and having a good time. We also have a thing called OBO, which is Objectively Bad Opinions as well. And it's exactly what it sounds like. We give really bad opinions on things, and it is what it is. So without further ado...
Well, we also have to plug the fact that we have a very free...
Every time!
I was watching you this time. I was watching. Yeah, we have a free Discord that we just kind of build a community around, and so it has everything from Gunpla to F1 to, right. I mean, video games. We now started the D&D channel because we're talking about playing D&D as a community.
Stuff
like
people eat.
Yeah, a whole food channel. It's really cool. We building an awesome community over there. Every night there's usually at least 6 people in there just chatting, playing games, and having a good time. We also, if you want to learn a little bit more about us or want to contact us, the easiest way is to go to spawncamp.co. That is our website, and there's an easy link to go ahead and contact us through email, and we will respond as quickly as we see it, which it comes directly to my phone, so I will see it immediately. You can also check out some of the other channels there and find out some more information about Spawn Camp as a whole. And good stuff.
No, it's fucking awesome. It's a great time. As simple as that. I gotta ask you the obligatory question though. What have you been playing?
So I have been playing a little bit of Rocket League. That's because of the Spawn Camp community. One of the guys from Build Bros has absolutely drugged me back into Rocket League, and it is awful and amazing all at the same time. Xenoblade Chronicles, still kind of working through that. I haven't been playing it as much lately, but that's just because of lack of time rather than not enjoying it. I'm still having a great time with it. Played a little bit of Fortnite with Lawyer Craig again this week.
Nice, Lawyer Craig.
And, I had to check out the Dragon Ball whole thing. That was cool. It's really neat.
Sure.
What they've done there. I mean, it's kind of like
I was
in the
watching
other
gameplay clips of it. I sent you some shit.
It's wild.
That's funny as shit. But
real wild. And then the last thing I've been playing is Cult of the Lamb, which I will get into in more detail after I ask you what you have been playing, my friend.
Certainly. So I've been playing some Overwatch. Getting my shit together for Overwatch 2 to come out. Playing Overwatch Volume 3. It's just out right now. Then I've been playing some F1 22. Been also playing some PGA 2K21. And the goal of that is to, obviously there's going to be a 2K23 that comes out very soon. August 22nd, they show some new stuff about it. And Tiger Woods is going to be on the cover.
Yeah.
Which hasn't happened in a long ass time since he did all that crazy stuff with the porn stars and the drugs. And recently, I mean, like a year and a half ago, he may have driven his car off a cliff.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And he allegedly could have been on, drugs. If history if we recall,
he
history.
allegedly could have been on alleged drugs. Yes.
Yes. So I'm stoked for that. So I've been playing a little bit of that. And then it's just been a busy week, man. It's been crazy. You and me are going up to...
Do you think they'll have a mini game where you can, allegedly drive your car off of a cliff and get high on
drive
fucking
your Lexus off the
illegal
cliff
drugs?
Of a golf course? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think they should.
They should, yeah. It's on brand. You and I, and then, it's been a busy week. And then, this weekend's been pretty busy. You and I are up in Detroit.
Yes.
Doing our thing.
We will be.
Looking at cars.
Absolutely.
And then watching Nick at a soccer game.
Watching some football. Not
playing soccer, but he's going to be in the stands.
God, that would be fun too.
On the cusp of he'd be winded.
He's going to pop up and chat in any moment. I would not, you fuckers.
Yeah.
Shut up, Nick. Yes, you would.
No, it'd be great. We're going to go see DCFC.
Yeah.
Play.
I know you got to get your scarf.
Get my Gryffindor
scarf.
And
shit, you got to have a scarf still.
Yeah.
You offset that with, booze, and it's all good.
It's gonna be
you're driving back. Never mind.
Yeah,
I will offset it.
Yeah, you can. You absolutely can. I'm DDing. I'll get my Gryffindor scarf and I'll get at her. It'll be great.
There you go. You
go Harry Potter.
So as I mentioned kind of at the top of this here, I have been playing Cult of the Lamb. I have not completed the game yet, but I have about 7 hours into it, I believe.
Oh, wow.
I just checked Steam before we hopped on here. I think it was 6.7 hours.
How long of a game is it?
I've seen some people say they beat it like just before 10 hours. I think the average is really more around 15 to 16, somewhere in that ballpark, like mid-teens. And honestly, I have been absolutely hooked on this game. I have played again in about a week. I've put about 7 hours in, and also shared that time with some other games. So I've really been going after it. I will say, this is more of a review in progress because I have not rolled credits, and even then, I don't know if I'll come back to give it a full-blown review, as it's not, by that time, it may not be really in the limelight anymore. But this game has, if you don't know anything about it, you play as this lamb. You basically die and get resurrected by some sort of a deity, and you are instructed to lead a cult. So the cult side of things is more of a
just that simple.
It's wild. But the actual cult aspect of it is more of like a management / sim type of game. It's very bare bones. I mean, there's nothing too crazy going on there. You have a couple different meters that you have to monitor. One of them is cleanliness of your whole cult area. The other is hunger, and then you also have to manage your faith. If your faith drops too low, you can get dissenters that will try to turn the rest of your followers against you. So you're just trying to balance all of these things out. As you go on, it gets easier because you can unlock more items. So the cleanliness, one of the big things is if you don't have essentially a porta potty, they will just shit around the camp.
Oh my God.
And then, so you can buy essentially a porta potty that you still have to kind of clean out and here and there. But you can also buy like a janitor station where they can now go and clean up their own stuff if they shit or vomit somewhere. So all of these things get easier as you progress through the game. The other side of it is you're doing like some pretty simple dungeon crawls. I mean, dungeon might even be kind of a strong word for what it is. It's a series of rooms with a couple different areas that you can go to, different things you can find along the way, resources you can collect. You fight enemies with a real simple, you have an attack button, you have a dodge button, and you have a spell button, which it's not a spell. I'm drawing a blank on what they actually call it. But that level of this roguelite, you basically go into this dungeon area and you acquire a weapon and one of these spells. And that's as roguelike as it gets. I mean, really, you have generated levels that you have to wander through, and it can go in various different paths, and you can go into a room. You're not locked out of going back. So if you feel like, oh, well, this one progresses through the dungeon, then I want to go back and see what's in the previous room. I can still go do that, where you can find the tarot cards and things like that, which add different little skills as you're playing through. So that's kind of cool. It doesn't seem to make a massive difference, but it is still a neat little function. Overall, the biggest complaint that I'm seeing about this game is that it is bare bones, and I would agree with that.
So
but
like
I
the
also
art is what's just like taking it through.
No, well, yeah, I think the art and just kind of the overall direction and kind of the quirkiness of having this fucking cult that is, operated and ran by this adorable little lamb, and then also you are bringing in other little adorable animals and weird little monster things, and I think that is a big selling point of it, but I also kind of enjoy the simpleness of it, where it is a roguelite. I never remember what the detail between the two of them are, but it's a decent entry point for somebody who wants to get into this style of game. And the mixture of the management with the dungeon crawling, I think really works well, where there's just enough of both of them to keep me preoccupied. And I'm have been singing praises about this game all week. So this so far is my indie game of the year. And granted, we are in August.
So. For those watching the stream, we can see the screen share here, and it looks just unbelievable. It's beautiful. I'm also going to say that Diggity just looks beautiful right now as well, too.
Goddamn right. It does. It does look good. You did good, bud. But no, I think this game is fantastic. If any of this small dungeon crawling and a little bit of management sim kind of fits what you might want to be playing right now, I definitely recommend checking it out. I heard high praise about it before I ended up picking it up, because initially when I saw this, I was not going to get it. It did not seem like something I would be interested in, and it has completely blown me away. I've been very, very happy with it, and it's just a blast to play. And there's a carrot at the end of the stick, right, of like just working through all of these different dungeons. You have to basically go through each dungeon 4 times in order to get to the boss, and then you can progress, and there's 4 dungeons. It's very gamified in the sense of like 4, 4, 4, 4, across the board. And there's nothing wrong with that in this instance. I don't believe. I mean, sometimes when something's, you're fighting a boss and you have to go through 3 waves, it's like, yeah, that was predictable. But in this case, I think it works very well. I am currently, I think, halfway through to the 3rd boss, I believe. So I definitely still have probably another 5-6 hours of gameplay easily, especially if I want to unlock everything, all the followers, all this stuff. There's little side missions and stuff that come up as well. So there's plenty to do. And I think it's an easy 15-hour game if you just want to even somewhat mainline it, right? So highly recommend it.
Awesome,
I will probably give maybe a little bit more in depth once we get closer to rolling credits, but I don't think there's going to be a big surprise. So I don't think there's really any reason for me to talk about it again in this sort of depth. But definitely recommend. So
nice. Well, I've got some news. Moving on to some news beyond reviews to make things rhyme. Embracer Group made some new acquisitions. So Embracer Group has picked up limited run games. Pretty big deal right there. Tripwire Interactive, which includes games like Killing Floor, Rising Storm, and Maneater. They also published Chivalry 2 as well. The Lord of the Rings and Hobbit IP rights, which is crazy. Tuxedo Labs, which is responsible for Teardown. Singtrix, which makes portable karaoke machines, which is a little out there, but hey, whatever, do what you want to do. And these announcements come alongside the announcement of Embracer Free Mode. And Free Mode is an arm of the company that aims to be a collective ecosystem for small to mid-sized companies under the Embracer Group. Free Mode intends to focus on 6 different market segments, and those segments are retro, classic, heritage gaming and entertainment, game development and production, devices, gear and collectibles, community and e-commerce, and new ideas and technology incubation and production services. So it sounds like, if we unpack this, shit's too expensive now to buy video game companies because, everything is getting consolidated. now. That's like one of the biggest things, right? So the retro side, yeah, definitely think it's smart. After picking up limited run games, limited run games has an unbelievable efficiency in terms of taking a retro game, being able to get it out there on Switch, or creating a physical version of that game and getting it marketed to the masses. They have an unbelievable engine that they own that helps do this. They have the tech, they have the marketing, they have everything with that, which is awesome. The game development and production, sounds like they want to start getting into more indie stuff, which is great. Devices, that's interesting. The gear and collectibles, again, limited run games has that arm for that already, so now they can take this IP that they want to swallow up, and I think you're going to see them purchase like mid-tier IP and other pieces of intellectual property, and then just churn it through the limited runs machine, essentially. And then the new ideas and technology incubation, I think they're going to heavily invest in some small indie studios, see what they do, and then gobble them up once they make a good game. So that's my take on business, but who knows?
I think you're spot on. I mean, the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit IP is a huge deal. Now, what they do with that in the long run, because I don't know, the Shadow of War game and Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor, those were pretty cool games. The second one got a little stale for me, but I really enjoyed the first one. The Tuxedo Lab seems like that was a big pickup, mainly for the tech side of things. That whole studio, while I was reading up on them, because I really hadn't heard a whole lot about them, they are very, very focused on the tech side of doing something unique and doing something that hasn't really been done, or at least not to the level that they are doing it. They only have that one game, Teardown, but it seems to be well received. I think really they're attacking from a lot of different directions. I'm not super stoked to see them pick up limited run games. I kind of liked limited run games being off on their own. And I'm not exactly sure how I feel about the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit thing too. Like I said, that is a massive IP that historically actually has had pretty good games, especially as far as, something being adapted from both movies and books, and this was specifically for the book side of things, I believe. I do not believe this included the rights to anything movie related. So it'll all kind of depend on how they handle that, how I feel about it in the long run, but they're going after different avenues, and Embracer's fucking massive at this point, and it's almost a little startling. Most of them have been, smaller to medium companies as far as the grand scheme of things, but there's definitely some heavy hitters in there as well. So I don't know, man. I'm not surprised to see more moves like this, and I highly doubt this is even the last one we'll hear of this year from Embracer, because they just keep on chugging along.
They should.
Yeah, I mean, we could almost make this a weekly part of our show. It feels like
we cover Embracer Group update. Weekly update.
Yeah, followed up by delay of the week. It's like, it's crazy. But I don't know. I think it's neat. Obviously the karaoke machines, I could not possibly care any less about.
What I was going to say, what's interesting is everyone's kind of just covering the Lord of the Rings stuff, and not many people covered the limited games, which is the biggest fucking play of this whole thing.
Right.
Like, that's the biggest fucking deal. That's getting to physical product. And like everyone's like, wow, they just got Lord of the Rings and Hobbit, as because it's fucking clickbait where it's just like, oh yeah, they're gonna do a Hobbit game now. It's like, to me that's big, yes, huge, but purchasing limited run games is massive.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a huge business play.
Like I said, I don't know how happy I am about it, but it is a big play on their part. Yes. I kind of liked limited run games being their own thing, just because it was more novel, and I feel like now with the larger company behind it, it's not going to be that cool novel aspect, because that limited run side of it, I think Embracer's going to push them to want to make larger batches of some of these things, and now that cool collector side of it may go away, but we'll have to see as how they handle it, because there is also something to be said for artificial artificial supply.
Yes.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, the lack of that artificial supply, that they can choose how much they make, right? And that's what makes it limited in this case. But Embracer's going to have dollar signs in their eyes and want their return on an investment. So we'll see.
We shall see, my man.
That we will. So, rumor time for the week. PlayStation is supposedly, it seems like they are gearing up to release a PC launcher here soon. So, thanks to the release of Spider-Man on PC, references to the PlayStation PC launcher have been found within the game's files. So far, everything that is released PlayStation-wise onto PC has either come to the Epic Game Store or to Steam. In some cases, I believe both. But it would make sense, especially if they're pushing in this direction, which they've kind of implied, that they have their own launcher in some regard. Personally, I don't want another launcher. I like having just a couple. That's the main reason I don't. I have like the Mass Effect trilogy. The remaster that they did, but I don't play it because I hate EA's launcher. The same reason I don't get into Rockstar games on PC, because I don't want another launcher. I know it's kind of a trivial little thing, and it's not a big deal.
Bunging up
Not
your PC?
particularly. Right? I also understand why PlayStation would want their own launcher, because then they don't owe people money, obviously, right?
Yes.
That's the biggest thing. They don't want to give Steam a cut. They don't want to give Epic Games a cut. They want to retain as much money as possible, which absolutely makes sense on their end. And having to load a launcher in the grand scheme of things is rather trivial. It's not a major concern. It's not something that's going to break the experience for me. The only thing that I want to see from this, I want to see more games ported, and I want to see newer games ported to PC. I don't want to wait 5 years to be able to play a game on PC. I mean, you look at Spider-Man. It just now came out last week, and that's a 4-year-old game at this point. Everything they've moved over except for, Death Stranding is kind of in a weird spot where it was like published by Sony, but the port version of it for PC was published by 505, and so it's kind of in a weird spot. But regardless, that's like the newest PlayStation game that has actually come to PC. I think Kena Bridge of Spirits did too. Sorry,
or how?
But I want to see like
Kena.
Yeah, whatever it is. But you look at something like Ratchet and Clank. Like, I'd love to have Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart on PC. That'd be awesome. I'd love to have.
It'd be a great PC game.
And on top of that, Spider-Man launched, and it actually has DualShock or DualSense support, so you can actually get the adaptive triggers. You can get all of the features that you would have on PlayStation through your PC. So it seems like they're moving in the right direction. It's just been a slow rollout, and I'd love to see it happen quicker, I guess. And just I've seen a lot of butt hurtness about all of this. Where, it's no longer it's no longer a PlayStation exclusive. That used to mean something. You're like, is it so bad that other people get to play games? Like, is that what we're doing right now?
Can I dive into my shit?
You absolutely can.
Fuck yeah, sweet, awesome.
Get them, fucking get them.
Last week I came on this show and Brody agreed with me, and we both. I'm just gonna keep it short to it, but basically, there was the rumor mill that PlayStation was paying devs not to put their game on Game Pass. Cool. That's business. I mentioned this. Somebody got upset about it. That's great. You're entitled to your opinion. It's fantastic. I just want to apologize to absolutely no one, because that is business. I don't fucking understand what people want. I just think I think we live in a world right now where people would like to just complain about things, and they either have no experience about said thing, they have no knowledge about said thing, and they just want to bombastically write things that also counter their initial argument from the first two lines. And I don't get it. I don't understand it. You can absolutely type whatever you want in the comment section. You can do whatever you want. I'm never going to stop someone from doing that. But what I just don't understand, my nose itches, hold on. What I don't understand from this community is 1 week, everyone's like, yeah, we got this as an exclusive. Take that, Sony, or PlayStation fanboys. Take that, Xbox fanboys. And then the next week, everyone's like, well, hold on a second. You're using money in an economy to purchase the rights to intellectual property to hold it within your ecosystem to make your shareholders happy? What the fuck do you want? And then also people sit there and go, yeah, I don't want them to do this. And then what happens? People get laid off from companies because they can't hold market share. And then they go, well, hold on. Why would they lay people off? Like, I just don't think anybody actually knows what the fuck they want. I'm confidently going to say that, actually. I know that people don't know what the fuck they want. And I just like to say that a smart business holds on to intellectual property. I can name 50 fucking companies right now. Embracer Group just did the same fucking thing. Embracer Group just bought the rights to Lord of the Rings and Hobbit. Will they put it on multiple platforms? Yes, but they're the sole fucking owners of that shit now. That is it. No one can make a fucking game with that stuff unless they come to them. Even if they might be better at making a game. Crazy. Anyways, on the PlayStation stuff, fuck yeah. Make the launcher, get rid of the bullshit royalty stuff that's held either by, I mean, your choices are Microsoft or Epic Games, which honestly I'm surprised they didn't go with that more because they own a stake in that. Very small stake, but they own a stake nonetheless. And then also, and they have a really good partnership. And then obviously Steam, and I just don't think they want to get into the. They want to be their own thing, and they should be their own thing. That's how you win this right now. You have to be your own thing. You cannot mingle and shit with people. They've got to go against Microsoft, who has an assload of money. They do not have nearly as much of the capital as Microsoft, not even close, and that's it. And I mean, I don't understand the exclusivity stuff. Like, if you want, you go buy the fucking system to play the game. I don't get it. It's not a free, like, we do not need to just have shit on every single thing. This is how these companies work. This is how I have a fucking PS5 here. Note the number 5 after PlayStation, because it has lived long enough as a fucking business to make 5 of these things.
Yes. Now, I did want to circle back to the comment that we were referring to. They were basically saying it was morally wrong. And I just want to make it a very obvious point that we never commented on the morality of it. Business, 9 times out of 10, operates in a moral gray area. We were just saying from a business perspective, it was an intelligent move on their part if that was in fact happening. It had nothing to do with morality.
I just don't even understand the morality piece. Money doesn't care about morality. Money does not care about your feelings.
It does not.
It doesn't care who the fuck you are. It is money.
It is no different than each company having their own exclusives, in-house studios. It's no different than Apple Arcade having exclusive games. It is no different in any way, shape, or form. Every form of business has some sort of deal like that. To act like it doesn't happen, you're delusional. I'm sorry.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
Yes.
I mean, absolutely
the way
crazy.
This works.
Like, I also state this, too. This is a discretionary spend item. This is a want, not a need. This is not like saying, oh, Sony now has control over all of the milk in America. This is a video game.
Right. They're not controlling housing. They're not controlling basic needs. They are controlling a form of entertainment.
If you want to raise morality stuff within a capitalist society, go to BlackRock and complain to BlackRock about them buying up all the homes in America after COVID when people couldn't afford shit, and then holding onto the assets and artificially inflating the housing market to sell off.
An easy way to compare it, you look at something like Disney Plus, right? Disney Plus obviously owns Marvel and Star Wars or Lucasfilms, all of this stuff. As soon as they bought them up, guess what left Netflix? All of the Marvel stuff, all of the Fox deals went through, all of that stuff moved away from Netflix.
Yeah.
People were barely said anything about it. It is no different in this case. It is just video games, but video games tend to have a very loud outcry for these types of things, which is weird because no other form of entertainment sees this, right? Granted, we are exposed to it a lot, but it happens all the time, and I don't understand why people act like it only happens in video games, because it certainly does not.
Also, video games don't allow you to live as a human being on Earth. They just entertain you.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
I just, like, morality with that kind of shit just doesn't, I could be wrong, again, but morality does not apply to a entertainment piece such as a video game, which is not a necessity of life in any way, shape, or form. Like there is nothing about video games that is a necessity on the human life.
No, absolutely.
And we're a video game podcast. I mean, that's
Correct.
fucking reality. Cool. All right. Should we talk about Overwatch 2 news?
Yes, we should.
Let's chat about it, my dude. Okay, so we got a little bit of Overwatch 2 news. Just some quick stuff. There will be Battle Pass and an in-game store in Overwatch 2. This will also feature weekly challenges and a competitive Play 2.0 mode. Loot boxes will no longer be in-game as well, which is going to be pretty crazy. But also, if you think about it, it kind of makes sense because there was a lot of legality issues with loot boxes for the last couple of years. And unfortunate for their business, they were kind of the first ones to really like do it to a level that, you know, got attention, and they were used as kind of the poster child against that. And I think that's going to help them get out of that, which is smart on their part. And then it'll also feature cross progression across all platforms, which, by the way, right now in Overwatch, you can actually go and confirm your account to go over to your battle.net account. So when the time comes for it to transfer over, all your information's done, it's ready to go, and it goes right into the next one. Me and Eric actually both played the other night Overwatch, not Overwatch 2. And we were a little confused because you can... I forget what it says in the menu system. Eric, if you're in chat, could you post that? That would help. But basically, whatever it says, you click on that, and then it asks you to hold X or hold A to confirm, depending on your system. And then even when you go back, it asks the same thing again.
Yeah, it says log into. So here's the process that I've seen.
Account
it says
management.
log into your,
That's what it is.
Yeah, it says log into your log in. Sorry, you only have one attempt to merge it, supposedly. I don't know how true that is. This is just the article that I'd seen earlier from IGN, right?
Yeah.
So it says log into Overwatch on your console account, follow on-screen prompts to scan a QR code on your phone, enter the code displayed on your console to link, create a battle.net account, confirm your account on your next game, log in to merge. So I have technically already connected my battle.net account to both my PlayStation and Xbox account, so I'm hoping that it's already done. I may still have to go in and do it.
I think you got to go in and you got to confirm it. That's about it.
Right. The thing that's weird though is it was kind of implied that these effects don't actually take part until you get to Overwatch 2. It sounds like you're just setting up the base work. It sounds like they didn't have the infrastructure to actually do it within Overwatch 1. And so this is just a preemptive, like, okay, now all of your accounts for Overwatch, whether you have it on different systems, whatever it may be, you can unlock those skins now going forward into Overwatch 2, but you still have to wait for Overwatch 2 to come out. So it's kind of confusing how they're rolling it out. They didn't do an incredible job of explaining it, but...
The way I took it, or the way I take this, is basically like what you said. The infrastructure is in Overwatch 2. It's not in Overwatch 1. So there's like a hybrid file or database that they're basically needing for people just to say, yep, that's me. Similar to like, you know, someone calls and asks you, sir, are you still living at this address? And you say, yep. Like that's what I take it as right now, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that you can do that. You'll be able to carry all your current progression and in-game cosmetics into Overwatch 2 on one single profile, which was a huge worry that people had. So this is great to ease that. And we don't have to worry about that, my dude.
I'm cool with all of these changes. Not having the loot boxes is fine by me. Then you can just choose what you want, right? Like if you want to dump some money into it to get a skin because Overwatch 2 is free, go for it, right? And then... yeah, you maybe don't do it every week or whatever, but having that option doesn't hurt anybody, because if you don't like it, guess what? You don't have to buy them. You can still earn skins. You can get the battle pass. You can do other things, right? You do not have to buy them. It is okay for a game to have cosmetic microtransactions. I don't necessarily agree with it all the time, especially pricing is mainly my concern with it. But at the end of the day, if you don't like it, guess what? Just don't buy it. It's still a free-to-play game. I actually do like battle pass systems in some regard. Most of the time, a lot of the items you really don't care about, but I kind of like that carrot on the end of the stick type of deal. So for me, it works, and it's usually like a $10 investment, and most of the time you earn that currency back, and then you can buy the next pass. Some of them not so much, but a lot of them do adopt that kind of formula, where, especially if they have an in-game store as well. So then basically they're hoping you're going to earn enough currency, buy something else, and then you still have to dump money in to buy the next battle pass. But I like the option of that, right? And again, if you don't like battle passes, you don't have to do it. It's still a free-to-play game. You can still play the game, enjoy the game without spending any money in this game. Yep. So I'm cool with it. I'm fine with it. I know that's somewhat controversial. People hate battle passes. People hate in-game stores, but just don't buy it. Just don't buy it. So, cool. Speaking of buying something, if you pre-order Modern Warfare 2, you can actually get early access to the campaign starting on October 20th, which is a week before the game actually launches.
Is it a full version of the campaign?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, you can play the entire campaign the week before the game comes out. And this is specifically if you digitally pre-order the game. Did not, obviously, if you don't have the copy on hand, you can't do this, but you would have thought they could have figured something out there where some distributors could maybe give you your code or something ahead of time, like a GameStop, but then again, you could cancel your pre-order right before, so I understand why they didn't do this. Right. But in this case, I assume now you can't cancel it because it is digital, and the moment that you receive this game and load it up, that is considered owning the game. So that is how they're probably working around, but regardless, I think this is actually neat. I am okay with this kind of a pre-order bonus where nobody's getting a head start in multiplayer. This is just so you can get in and play the single-player campaign, and then when the game fully launches, now you may already have the campaign done and knocked out, and you can jump right into multiplayer, all at the same time with everybody else. I don't hate this idea. It is not the worst thing in the world. Most of the time, these campaigns are like 6 to 8 hours long. Mm-hmm. And usually that first day that it comes out, right, there is that battle of, do I go into multiplayer or do I go into the campaign? And so I think this eliminates some of it. I'm usually kind of against some pre-order bonuses, obviously, because pre-ordering is risky in any capacity. But I kind of dig this one. I think this is something way better than, some gold armor that you would get in a game that you'll never use again or whatever it may be. And I usually enjoy Call of Duty campaigns for what they are. You kind of have to turn your brain off most of the time and think of it like a Fast and Furious movie. But
100%.
Regardless,
that's a really good comparison. The Fast and Furious of video games.
Yeah, just kind of turn your brain off. There's like fucking 24 of them now, and just have fun. It's fine. I don't really care for Fast and Furious, but yeah, whatever.
Family.
Right? So, cool. How do you feel about all this?
I mean, I'm cool with it. It's kind of cool to see somebody just like, hey, go ahead and rip the campaign like way ahead. Because I think it's good just for their game in general. It gets the hardcore people playing the campaign, they get through, and then they can get right onto the online stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably do this. I was probably going to get it anyway, right? I was actually definitely going to get it. So I'll probably pre-order it and have the campaign knocked out, and we'll be able to talk about it on Diggity before the game even launches. So that's cool. The first time we've actually gotten a code early.
Open beta is September 18th?
I don't know. I think it's like I'll look it up. I meant to put those in the
and there's also there's no time limit to pre-order to then be able to get this October 20th, right? Like you could buy this October 19th and then you can just go in and play the campaign.
Yeah, so it's Friday, September 16th through the 20th. Hang on, this is a shitty fucking list. Hang on. Find a better list. That one was laid out like crap. Oh, so early access on PlayStation. It's PlayStation exclusive. September 16th through the 17th. The open beta for PlayStation, again, only PlayStation, is September 17th through the 20th. And the second weekend, which is PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, early access September 22nd through the 23rd. So for early access, you had to have pre-ordered the game.
Sure.
The entire open beta starts on September 24th through the 26th. So
nice. Cool. All right, moving on to some Game Pass news, my dudes. This is coming to Xbox Game Pass. This is a section we often do, and these are all available right now. Right meow. So we got Coffee Talk, which is on cloud, console, and PC, August 23rd. Oh my God. Midnight Fight Express, cloud, console, and PC will be available August 23rd. Good God, there we go. Exapunks will be available on PC August 25th. Opus, Echo of Star Song, Full Bloom Edition will be available on console and PC August 25th. On August 30th, you'll be able to play Commandos 3 HD Remaster on cloud, console, and PC. Immortality on cloud, PC, Xbox Series consoles as well for that one. Immortals Phoenix Rising, you'll be able to play again on August 30th on cloud, console, and PC. And Tinykin on console and PC on August 30th. So I feel like they really just need to make it where like it goes right across to everything at this point, because it's just fucking confusing.
Most of the time it does. There's only a few times that it really won't. Usually it's something to do with either cloud or like that Exapunks. There's only been a couple games this year that even launched to just PC. So most of the time they do a pretty good job of it. It just kind of depends on the game. But honestly, the Immortals Phoenix Rising, I'm kind of interested to maybe jump in that as my like turn my brain off and just kind of wander around like pseudo Breath of the Wild type of game. But and also Midnight Fight Express looks awesome. That one looks really cool.
Yeah, Midnight Fight Express looks great. While we're here in Game Pass, do you want to tell us what's leaving? August 31st?
Yes, so leaving on August 31st, Elite Dangerous, Hades, which that one fucking hurts right there. Myst, NBA 2K22, Songs of the Sojourner. Yep, I'm just going to roll with it. It's fine. Spiritfarer, 12 Minutes, 2 Point Hospital, What Remains of Edith Finch, and World War Z. Hades is the heavy hitter here on this list. Also, keep in mind, games that are on Game Pass, you get a 20% discount. So if you're 3/4 of the way through Hades and want to continue to play it, you can buy it for 20% off. I think that brings it down to like $20. The only other one that I really wanted to try from this list was 12 Minutes, but I heard such bad things about it that everybody seemed to be disappointed. So I'm just gonna skip it, I guess. So,
damn.
But
yeah, I mean, I'm cool with this. I think it's a good addition list. Like you said, Hades leaving, but also there's a lot of sales for Hades often on multiple different platforms, and I
think scary. I'm gonna get it on Switch.
Yeah, it'd be a good Switch game. It sounds scary though, but Christmas is not too far away, and Black Friday is not too far away, and Black Friday, you know damn well that game's going on sale for heavy discount again.
Yeah. There were also a decent amount of games that were added because of QuakeCon. Yes. Nick wanted me to throw it in there. Most of them were older games, right? Yep. Otherwise, I wouldn't have mentioned. There he is. Yep. Y'all forgetting the QuakeCon stuff. I hate you. I did not forget. I purposely didn't put it in here because I didn't find an article while in time before I got to this. Regardless, there's some stuff from QuakeCon. I will find the fucking list for him before he blows a goddamn gasket.
I love this so much. Yeah, find the list for QuakeCon. Thanks, Nick, for running our show.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Nick.
Really happy that you do that. You've broken the fucking 12th barrier of Spawn Camp and decided just to run our fucking show tonight. I appreciate that.
Elder Scrolls Legend, Battlespire on PC, Quake 4 on PC, Return to Castle Wolfenstein on PC, The Elder Scrolls Adventures Redguard on PC, and Wolfenstein 3D on PC.
Wow.
Also, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Perks, Quake Champions Pack on PC. Happy now, Nick? You ass hat. Oh, don't worry. He sent it to me.
Yeah,
because I'm looking at Discord while I'm recording a podcast. Yeah.
Oh my God. We use Discord, Nick. How many times you use Discord to record on this? God. What a goober. Well,
all dope. He is the only person I know that is excited for this.
All dope, Jeff. All dope.
They are games that came out how long ago?
A century. A decade.
This fucking guy. If you want more QuakeCon shit, go listen to WASD and Beyond.
Yeah. Whatever. They love QuakeCon. They love the QuakeCon. Well, guys, that'll do it for this episode of Diggity. Thanks for joining us. If you enjoyed this show and this is the first time watching us on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button or hit like or follow us on Twitch as well. Like I said, we go live every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you want to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, go to @Diggity Podcast for both of those. You can also check out awesome stuff for the rest of Spawn Camp and the rest of people like Nick, who thinks that he owns every show and has to tell us what we should say on the show. And people really don't give a shit about QuakeCon on this show in particular. You can go check out things like WASD and Beyond, but they're pretty fucking bad.
We don't mean it.
Actually, we don't mean it. We just, I mean, its actual real name is WASD and Beyond and Quake. And then you can go check out the Build Bros if you're into some Gunpla stuff. It's great. Join our free Discord. That's also fucking fantastic. We have a good fucking time over there. See what people are eating. See Nick's feet. My God, see amazing things. It's great. And you can also check out as well our audio version of our podcast. If you have not left us a review on the audio version of the podcast, please consider doing so. It spreads the word of Diggity, and we appreciate you greatly. And until next time, we will see you later.